All right, it's Friday, October 27th, 6:50 in the morning, just getting started here. And looks like we just hit a new low for the day. And I was just thinking maybe I can measure one leg and two legs. Or right at the previous day's close. Previous day's low is right here. So, yeah. Notice I have less accounts today, just 4 evaluations now. I haven't bought any new ones yet. I'll do that for starting next week. And I'll just try to focus on taking good trades and hopefully build up the PA accounts again. This week has been rough, but when I think about it, I really only had 2 losses yesterday and I had 2 wins. It was just unfortunate the way the day worked out, but it wasn't so bad. It was just surprising to have, what is it, 4 losses in a week. I haven't seen that in a long time. So anyway, we'll just see how things play out here. We'll wait for good trades. I'm still going to take LOs. I'm just going to be a little bit more picky, I guess, in the ones that I take and see if that helps me at all. Otherwise, still really trust the OJ and the PB. And so we'll have to just keep trusting the system and see where it takes us. It was disappointing to get some losses, but it's all part of the game. So, all right, let's see what comes up here. All right, I'm watching this here.
Order submitted.
Possible LO to come up. Thinking we can have 2 legs back to the top, towards the top. If we get a bullish bar. This would be an LO if it sets up. Doesn't look like it's going to. No, not a bullish bar. That's what I'm thinking, so I'll wait and see if another one happens. Now, here's a case where there was a lower high, higher low, lower high, or higher, yeah, higher low and a lower high. But let's see what this is. If this is a higher low, right, doesn't look like it's happening here.
Order canceled.
I'll come back when something does. All right.
Order
I'm watching
submitted.
this for possible PB if it closes lower down here. Waiting to see if one thing gets into alignment. Seems like it would down here. Let's see. No, not yet. This is just a white PB. I'll have to skip it.
Order canceled.
I liked everything about it except just one of my rules is one of the conditions isn't in place yet. All right, so good thing I didn't take the white PB to the short side.
Order
Looking
submitted.
here for an OJ, close up here. I'll take this. If it triggers. Need to close up high. So 2 ticks above this last bar will give me a trigger in. Oh, did I miss it?
Order filled.
Okay. Uh-oh. Wow. Doesn't look good for me. Was not expecting a pullback like that. This might be the second loss on OJ. Let's see if it ends up working. Maybe I'll get lucky. Doesn't seem like it's going to work. I actually see a reason why I could have stayed out of that trade, but too late now. And this is actually a PB the other way. But I'm stuck in this trade, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to get taken out here.
Order filled.
Within one tick of getting stopped out there. This is just lucky I didn't get stopped. I guess I had to stop in the right place, but it's not over yet. And my live account got taken out. I guess I hit the margin requirement or something on my live account. Wow. After all that, am I still going to get taken out? Wow. I thought it was going to get there. After that big pullback again. Not looking good now. Hasn't been looking good since I entered. I was going to go for a break even +1 if it got there, but it came up a tick short to even move it. I don't know what this market's doing. It's crazy how good my strategy was working, and then all of a sudden, it's just a real struggle with it this week. Looks like I'm going to get taken out here. Or not. I really have no idea what's going on now. I'm just at the mercy of whatever the market wants to do. At this point, I'll just either get my scalp or get a loss, I guess. Oh, here it comes. All right, this is going to be there's a measured move to the downside. Maybe that's what I should have been thinking about. I don't know. Strategy was working great for 6 weeks, and then boom.
Stop filled.
This week, the strategy is just not working. Look at that. Bottom tick. Not like it should matter. Should have worked right away. So that's a loss on the OJ. And yeah, my accounts are really close to blowing. Very close to blowing. Two of my 3 PAs, as well as the evaluations. All right, so I'm back having kind of absorbed the meaning of this loss. I can only just kind of laugh at the beginning of the week. This account number 3 was within 1 trade of qualifying for a payout. And now I'm within 1 trade. Any kind of small pullback is going to bust, well, all of the accounts that I'm playing right now. The next trade I take, any pullback, virtually very small pullback, and these will all get blown up, including the PAs. So pretty devastating week for the strategy as far as my accounts are concerned. It is why I have 2 backup accounts, PA accounts that I wasn't trading, just to make sure if I ran into a situation like this that it wasn't going to be the end all be all of my PA accounts. But it looks like these accounts, 1, 3, and 4 are going to be hanging on by a thread. And I updated the stats now. So 35 and 9 overall for 80%, and the OJ is now 5 and 2 for only 71%. That's my newest one. I hadn't seen it lose in so much testing. I don't know what it is about this week, but I mean, this is very rangy, so I almost am not surprised that I ran into problems. I was just thinking that if it truly was rangy, we would get back up to the top here, and it didn't happen. And if I was thinking about it, I mean, I was looking for a measure like move down still on that trade, but the rules were there. There was one thing that I noticed after the fact that maybe defies my rules, but it was just because there was actually a white PB before it, and I'm not supposed to take a OJ at the same time as a PB. But usually my rule was because if it's on the same candle, I won't take it. And this was the candle before. So I think if it's just even next to a PB, I guess I can't take it. And maybe that's a rule that I should have had, but I didn't have yet. And so I'm hoping that that's the reason, and that I can just avoid a loss on an OJ in the future by knowing that if a PB happened even a bar before, I can't take it. Even, the rule was always if it happens on the same bar. So hopefully that'll be something I learn. And I think I said it a couple weeks ago, the strategy was going great. I had 5 weeks in a row of green weeks and very good numbers. And as I said, who knows, maybe next week or next month I'll hit, a week where the whole thing blows up. And that's what's happened this week to my accounts. The strategy has failed. The big problem too is on the Apex accounts. Oh, and by the way, my live account didn't hit the margin requirement. It just hit the 7.75 point stop quicker than it did on the ES. So I saw it come out of the trade. I guess here it came out at the 7.75 point stop, and then it didn't hit again on the ES until here. So, but yeah, devastating for my Apex accounts, and a real bummer that I was so close to a payout, one trade away from a payout, and then in 1 week just wipe out the accounts. But I'm going to keep going, keep testing, keep doing this on YouTube. And I knew it was a risky process. It was very early on in the strategy. I'd only traded it for 1 week on Apex before I started YouTube, and so far I'd say not viable. I got to figure out if there's a way to take smaller stops. I don't think there really is. I guess my stop could have been a little bit higher. Could have been up here, I suppose. But anyway, I'll keep playing right now, and hopefully things will turn around. I'm going to get new evaluations for the 90%. Well, if these blow up today, I might as well just do it today. I was going to wait till Monday, but we'll see what happens.
Order submitted.
Looking for a possible PB to the long side. So I'm going to do it over on my other chart. Not setting up now.
Order canceled.
This actually could become a OJ to the short side, depending on which direction it wants to go. OJ to the short side, PB to the upside. I mean, no matter what trade I take next, I'm kind of figuring that it's going to be blown up if there's a pullback of any kind. So don't really have a lot of high hopes. One of my counts seems like it should be blown up already. The count is 650 and the threshold is 654. I think that technically should be blown up already. I think all of these should be blown up already, the evaluations. That's weird.
Order submitted.
Still letting me put orders in. Yeah, I'm hoping for a PB to the long side here. If I get a close right where the bar is right now, and then a close higher, I think that would satisfy it. Yeah. So now just looking for a close higher here.
Order filled.
Okay, some accounts blew up. Come on, don't pull back. Oh no. Yeah, it should work. Just don't give me a pullback first. Give me some life. Oh no. All right, we're gonna blow up. If it pulls back much more, we're gonna blow up the PAs. We already blew up the evals. I think we're gonna say sayonara. It looks like we're gonna lose everything soon. Unless it can pull it out. I don't have much room to go. Oh. There's a little bit of room. Okay, maybe it'll work right now. It'd be nice if it would work so I don't blow up the PA accounts right now on a good trade. I think it's a good trade. Maybe it's not a good trade. What say you, market? Is it a good trade or is it? All right, that's a good close. I would definitely expect to get the win here, but it is struggling. Seven ticks. Here we go.
Stop filled.
What's happening here?
Order filled.
All right. Something happened at the end there on one account, it looked like. What was that? Not exactly sure. Looks like my number 3 account somehow got into an extra trade and I flattened everything, and it looks like it lost some back. All right, well, my strategy isn't complete garbage, I guess. I got a winner here. Let me enter everything. I'll come back. All right, so I've sorted out what's going on here. So this did get an 8-tick scalp, the PB. PB still my best setup. 13-1 now, 93%. 38.9 overall now, 80%. And that's the small pullback. These evaluation accounts should have been blown already. I don't know why they weren't, but I think essentially right when I got in the trade, it triggered Apex's system to recognize that they were already blown. And so the evals are all blown. On account PA account 1 and 4, I got the 8-tick scalp. On PA account 3, I got the 8-tick scalp, but then it opened a secondary trade on the copier, I guess in the opposite direction. And so I got a minus 1 tick on that. So 7-tick scalp, essentially minus the commissions of 2 sets of trades. I think that says it all. So since I have no evals and it's 90% today, I think I'll probably go ahead and see about buying 2 more right now and adding them. And so I'm going to go do that. I'll be back. All right, I just set up my new accounts. I just noticed an allo, but I'm not even prepared to take a trade yet with the accounts. So the entry was this bar. I'm pretty sure it's going to work, but I'm just not prepared. So I just bought a new 25K eval and a 50K eval. Yeah, it's going to work. I just sat down after setting that up. Okay, so I'll be back. All right, so I got my copier ready to go now. Yeah, that was a good, solid LO that worked. Too bad I had to miss it. All right, just getting back from a break. Actually just missed a trade. No, actually looking at it, doesn't satisfy my rules. Would have been a PB on this bar, but not bearish enough. And I don't think I missed anything else otherwise. And I'm just making sure to get everything set up for my new accounts. And I'll be back when there's a setup. All right, I'm all set up for another trade now. I've got the new 25K eval, the new 50K eval. My 3 PA accounts I've been trading is like still 1 loss away from being blown up, it looks like, just about. Hopefully it won't happen mid-trade, and one way or the other, either get to my target or I'll get to the stop loss. But what can I do? It's pretty amazing how well it started off for the first weeks, but the trailing drawdown is really tough. And with big stops, It doesn't take much to blow up accounts, especially on the 25K, like on the evaluations when I'm trading 2 contracts each. That can, go against those really fast. The 50K have a little bit more room at least to trade 2 contracts on the big stops. And then, I think I try to trade the PA accounts with 2 contracts to begin with, but if it gets a loss, then I have to go to 1 immediately. Otherwise, I'll just blow the account too quick on another loss. When I started the strategy, I was not getting losses, so I wasn't really seeing the effect of how quickly accounts could get taken out. But now that it's happened this week, now I can see, how the trailing drawdown comes into play so quickly. It just takes a couple losses. And this week was ridiculous how many losses I've gotten. I think today's loss is 5 losses, which is more losses than I've taken the entire other 5 weeks that I've been trading. Or I think this is the end of my 6th week. So I think that's more losses in 1 week than the entire previous 5 weeks combined up to this point. So I don't know if just the market conditions have changed. I actually do recognize that I broke one of my rules here, that it was a little bit different than I'd seen it before. So essentially there was a white PB here, and then here was the white PB, and then here was my OJ. And my rule is I can't take a PB when there's an OJ on the same bar. I've never seen one on the bar before the OJ. And so that was the first time. And I recognized it in the moment. And I said, well, it's not on the same bar, so I'm not going to take it. But after the fact of losing and then just thinking about it, I know that that's my rule, is if they happen at the same time, I can't take it. And for whatever reason this morning, I was just eager to take a trade, I think. And I took it regardless because it wasn't on the same bar. And I think I just have to make it part of the rule. It can't be like right next to it, that's the same thing. So I'm not really surprised I took that loss. I feel like I understand why it was a loss. And, it was probably an invalid OJ, but it's going to count against the stats nonetheless. So that was the second loss with it. And from now on, that's just part of my rules, that if there's a PB within a couple bars, it has to be skipped. All right, I think that covers everything. 14, 16, 20, 21 are all blown evals at this point, and we'll go from there, see what happens. So just kind of looking at my accounts, all of my PA accounts are about 300 away or less of the trailing drawdown. So my typical loss on a 1 contract trade on these has been about 300. So my next trade's pretty much make or break for right now for these accounts. My PB setup, which is the win I got earlier, right now is performing the best at 13 wins and 1 loss. So I'm hoping that I can maybe have discipline to try to wait it out and let one of those set up, since that seems like the highest likelihood of winning out of all of my setups. But honestly, it would take incredible discipline to skip like an LO like this. I wasn't able to be ready for a trade here, but if I saw one, I feel like I kind of have to take it. As long as it fits the rules. I'd rather it be a PB or even an OJ, even though I already lost on an OJ today. I feel like I understand the reason why I lost OJ today. So I'm kind of more confident with OJ than LO. I'm most confident with PB at this point. So we'll see. It'd be great if PB is just the next setup, because I'm willing to ride or die on that one for sure. And if I lose them, it was always my plan to have these backups for that exact reason. And I always knew trading this new strategy, there was always room for something to go wrong. And this week was when it happened. So, it's just the way it is. So if I do blow these accounts, then I will start probably trading number 5, the 25K, just because I think it's the easiest to get to a profit target. The end of last week, I was one or two trades away on PA3, which is now one trade away from being blown. So, I'll trade 2 contracts on it if I blow these, and I'll try to get to a payout as soon as possible. I'm going to keep trading the system and let it play out. We're still early on. This is the end of the 6th week, and I'm at 80%, so it's not bad. Just tough week for the Apex accounts, but still showing plenty of promise. And I gotta, like I let it work when it was working. I gotta keep going with it when it's not working, and see if there's things to refine. And like this loss, I now know another rule to add to avoid a loss there. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's the update, and let's see. Hopefully we can get a PB sometime soon. All right, so I'm just watching this right now. I've got a touch here. If this bar is bearish, it would be an LO. Okay, it's not doing it anyway. But I was already thinking that we're at the measured move and the previous day's low. So I was just not going to take a LO under these circumstances and risk the life of my PA accounts on it. It didn't set up anyway. The other thing I'm kind of considering is, I've got all this knowledge of max price action trading system, and in a case like this, I can see that there's a channel that seems to be working pretty well there. And I'm just considering, since I do have this blank chart that I use for YouTube and my indicators on the other one, I could kind of take in consideration the larger channels and just to kind of see if there's any confluence between where my setups are, and to just make sure it's not something that goes against the price action of that system. And then I was thinking, well, if I'm going to do that, maybe in some cases, if there's a second entry short that makes sense to take, I could take it. I'm not sure I'm going to go that far, to start taking Pat's entries again in the series. But it is interesting because I just think like, oh, well, I can, if I do this, I might see some setups that might make sense to take. So I don't know. I'm going to think about that over the weekend, I guess. But, it might not be a bad idea to just draw some channels just to kind of have another reason to stay out of trades, I think is kind of what I'm thinking. But here there's already a measured move, and it's interesting with Max Pat's system. We didn't reach the lower part of the channel this time. It came up short. So maybe that's going to lead to a break. And we're below yesterday's low. We're above or below yesterday's close and above yesterday's low. Maybe there'll be a break up here and a retest down. Anyway, I'm just kind of thinking about ways that I can improve. I don't want to completely just change everything I'm doing because 80%. It's not that it's not working well. And it's funny, if I blow this PA account number 3, it'll be $22 under the starting balance where it blows. So it's not like I'm losing a ton of money on some of these. These accounts I blew a lot of money. It's still not a lot of money. This is only $330 under starting balance, and it's blown. This is only $650. So it's not like it's like a losing strategy right now. It's 80%, and it's the trailing drawdown that is the reason why I lost accounts this week. And that's Apex's advantage. That's why they have that, and that's to their advantage to have that, and that's part of the game. So, I'm just considering this. It wouldn't have helped me on my loss today, I don't think. I mean, I guess I could say that there was this channel. There was already a new high. If I draw this, new channel, already a new low. But if this was a MAC trade, your entry would have been here or here. So it doesn't help me on the loss. Does it help me on the win? Let me see. I would draw my channel basically like this. So does it help me? Maybe. I mean, you're inside of an uptrend. So I think that's valid. And it wouldn't have helped for a low up here because you already had a break and new high. Although you can say that, you're expecting 2 legs to a new high. So maybe that gives you the reason there. So, things to kind of consider. I guess I'll leave that there for that one. And I'll leave this here. Oh, so it came down here now. So that's interesting because now, okay, so it would have an overshoot, let's say. There was no setup here. So nothing for my strategy. But yeah, I'll just keep watching it and we'll see how this plays out. And I'll just kind of consider, I mean, if I'm going to have a blank chart, I might as well consider, 3 years of knowledge of studying the PAT system and just kind of being aware of what it's doing. I don't know. Thoughts I'm having. Maybe I'll put the 21 EMA on here and just, be able to have that in mind while I have my other indicator up. And, we'll see what happens. The whole thing is an experiment. So anyway, I'll pause here and we'll see if we get anything. This is possibly setting up to be an LO here, but now I'm looking at this and there's an overshoot. I extended my leg down to here, which would give you more room. But I'm not trusting an LO even if it sets up right now down here. We finally moved past the previous day's low. And just not going to risk my PA accounts on an LO at this point. All right, this is another touch on this one. So this next bar would have to be bearish. But I will skip anything at this point down here. I feel like this is likely an area. Okay, it wouldn't matter anyway. It's going too high. But this is likely an area where if it's set up, I would take it and then it would go the other way. And, after such a big move down, like that looks like kind of the area of where I took my loss on the LO yesterday. So maybe this will help me, this kind of thing. Pat's channels. I'll pause here. We'll see what happens. All right, so I added back the 21 EMA to my chart, which I haven't been using for quite some time. I think it's just kind of interesting to see it. I'm not going to base my trades off of it or take Pat's trades for now. I'm going to just stick with my system that I've been working on. But I kind of like just seeing it to have an idea. This is essentially what I was looking at for 3 years. And I'm going to see if I can continue to take the trades that I take with my strategy without, making decisions based on this necessarily, if that makes sense. So, but if it starts getting in the way of like giving me analysis paralysis, that the chart looks one way for max and then my indicator looks like something else and it's giving conflicting information, then I'll just stop doing all this. I definitely like the measured move thing. But I'll play around with it. I mean, after a week like today, it's like, it just shows me the whole point of me doing this is to continue to explore and find what works best for me. And, I would say this week kind of represents what was happening with Max system for me, where I would do great. Like in this case, I did great for 5 weeks, and then I had one bad week where it blew 5 weeks of good work away. So I didn't think that would happen to me. Now it's not terrible because it's one loss today. It was 2 losses yesterday. It was a loss earlier in the week. I think there was another loss, but it's been like one loss each day, with the exception of yesterday was 2 losses. So it's not like terrible. It's just that my stops have been so big, and made some mistakes this week for sure. And then just some bad luck, timing and things, missing trades that were good trades that could have balanced out the negativity. Anyway, I don't want to ramble, but just thoughts on my mind as we continue. It's 10:15, so try to just stay quiet unless a trade happens. All right, so this was an LO right here, right at the measured move, not taking it. And look at it. This is what that looked like yesterday when I took the LO, and then it shot up like that and just took me out. So this is interesting. This is after what looks like an overshoot on Max system. So this was, I would say bearish enough to have taken the LO. And we'll see if it now ends up losing. The stop would have been above this bar. So around 40 would have been the stop. So maybe this is something that can keep me out of bad LOs, since LOs are giving me the most trouble. This will be interesting because this was the LO right here. Oh wait, no, I'm wrong. Actually, this was the LO, but it didn't trigger underneath. So I wouldn't have been in, no matter what. Okay. Anyway, it is interesting. Again, I found a measured move. It had surpassed it. So I found another bigger measured move, and look, it's like right to it, and it bounces up. I've always been amazed by how there's reaction points when you draw those in. If this continues to go down, you say to yourself, if you're a Max person, maybe it's wider, but I'm not going to widen it at this point. We'll just see what happens. To me, it's like an overshoot, and we'll see. Maybe it'll just bounce right out of here. And the trick will be to just keep watching my other chart to the left, because that's where my setups are going to come from. All right, waiting for a setup. All right, stepped away for a bit, take care of my dogs. Still haven't seen anything since my last trade. No setups at all. And just curious if maybe there was some other kind of something like that too. Since I'm drawing it today, just to kind of see. Yeah, I don't know. We'll just keep watching now. Okay, I'm just going to start recording here. There's a potential for a PB to the long side coming up over here. I kind of look at this as overshoot. Even if you have this channel down, there's a break and a new low. Let me get my order ready.
Order submitted.
If this PB sets up. Needs to be kind of up here somewhere. Still, 2 of my rules are still not there yet. So if it comes down and then comes back up here in a little bit, that's still good. I'm kind of aware that there's some resistance here. But again, I'm not trading Pats. I'm going to trade my system that I've been trading for the past 6 weeks. So if I get a PB that fits the rules and it's here, I'll still take it. Okay, I'll pause. If it works back up, I'll start again. I'm actually looking at this because it could be a PB to the short down here potentially. With the close down here. So I'm going to get ready for that
submitted.
just in case.
Order canceled.
Okay. It closed just low enough that it is, but it doesn't fit my rules. So it's not, it's invalid. And I would still prefer it to go to the upside and give me one up here for a long. So I'm going to pause and we'll see what happens. Just drew in the range just to be aware of it. It looks like it's pretty legitimate. Consolidation area. And again, I won't be afraid to take a PB to the long side if it gets up there. All right, price action is starting to move a little fast. This bar shot up real fast, 23 tick bar. So I do want to be ready if a PB sets up here. Just the way this went so fast, I thought I should get ready. Hit the record button just in case. Now it's going slow again. All right, I'll pause and we'll see. All right, well, just as far as this channel goes, I'm starting to look at it and it's continuing to go down. So maybe it's not the overshoot I thought it was. And this doesn't look bad for a channel. So it's possible that we're still inside this down channel, I suppose. So I'm going to keep my eye on that just in terms of giving a direction. I still haven't seen any setups regardless on my system, so it doesn't matter, but let's see what happens. Watching for a KB
Order
to
submitted.
The short, or an OJ for, what am I saying? I'm watching for an OJ to the short side. That's what I'm trying to say. Needs close a little bit lower. It's not going to close low enough. There's no OJ there. But maybe on this next bar if it closes down here. And according to that channel, I'd still be looking for a retest of the lows possibly. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. And just to see this. Okay, so still if it closes down here, it could be an OJ for me. If all the rules are in place. So let's see. I won't know until the close of the bar. But if that channel is valid that I've drawn there, the blue one, then I am expecting a retest of the low. So that might be another reason to think to take this if it sets up. Let's see if this is one. It needs to close down here. No, doesn't qualify.
Order canceled.
Okay, so no trade for me. But I kind of like this idea that in a case like this, for instance, where I have this channel, this big channel, and determined for myself that it's not an overshoot, it's just it was a lower two-tier channel, that you're expecting the retest of the low based on what Mac teaches in PATS. So maybe there's some way for me to combine my knowledge of Mac's PATS with my knowledge of the strategy that I'm trading and trade my strategy based on the strategy, but keeping in mind some of the rules that that Mac has in place for price action. That may be a secret ingredient, and I think that's the thing that the past 5 weeks before this week went so well that I just thought, oh, I could just trade just purely based on this strategy, this new strategy. But maybe it's not, maybe it's smarter to think that I can fold in 3 years of what I've learned studying the Mac stuff, that I can use it to my benefit. That will just help me with my new strategy. So I'm not really looking to take Mac's PATS trades, but look at this, we're going to get a retest. So this is something that could help me. I mean, this is something that, maybe if there was an LO that sets up over here, I'll see that I have a channel break and a new low, and it'll keep me out of future losing LOs. That's kind of what I have in mind. That's what I'm thinking. So I'll pause here. There's still another hour or so left of the day. And, it's been a tough week, but I'm already over it. I'm already moving on to figuring out how I can do this better. And no matter what happens with these PAs, if they get blown or if I can build them back up, either way, I did this for a reason, to have backup PAs. So I'm not just out of the PA game on any bad day or week. And I'll live to fight another day no matter what happens. So, and we got the 2 new evals as well. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, maybe this had to happen to really solidify what I'm trying to do moving forward. We'll see. All right, so there's been no setup for me still, but we have a new low off of this channel, which is what would be expected from PATS. So we'll see what happens here. At this point, I would say I shouldn't look for shorts anymore, even if they set up based on this system. And let's see how that applies based on my my current strategy that I've been trading on this series. Let's see. All right, so we've got quite a push up after the break of this channel, new low, which is what you would expect after that happened, according to PATS. So I kind of like the idea of having this. I'm not going to draw every little STT and all the stuff that you do when you're trading that system. But I think just the general idea is good, and kind of the larger things, and maybe it'll be helpful. So we still got a little less than an hour. We'll see if something comes up here. All right, I'm watching this. I've got a measured move up. There was just a failed second entry short.
Order submitted.
On Pat's over here, confirming a channel. And this would be a LO to go long if it finishes bullish. So I will consider taking this to go for the measured move if we can finish bullish and get a trigger. Well, that's unfortunate.
Order canceled.
I really thought, wow, this is going to be great. It's going to coincide with a failed second entry short on Pat's, and we'll get a bullish bar here, and that would give me my LO, and I could ride it up. And it didn't happen. Maybe there'll be a higher low and an LO from here. That's possible. Man, I just got excited for a second thinking, oh, this could really be great. Did failed second entry short get the scalp? 38.75 is the entry. And the high was 41.25. So it got, good enough for a 4-tick scalp that Mac teaches. And this higher low could be a touch for me. And then a bullish bar above that would be a LO for me. So it's still possible. I'm going to get ready.
Order submitted.
And we have that measured move up. So if this bar doesn't pull back too much and turns bullish, it can be a LO. And this is a higher low for Mac's system. It's pulling back too much now. If it pulls back anymore, it's not going to work for an LO. But I'll take this if an LO sets up right here, finishes bullish, based on what I'm saying. Can't be an inside buyer. Nope.
Order canceled.
All right, well, I was a little excited there. I mean, really, it could just be this. Break new high. Or if that is confirmed, then you can still be looking for a new high. Now we're really just flattening out. Up to this point, everything is a higher low, higher low. So we've got a touch there, but it looks like this is coming down too much. I'm going to get ready again.
Order submitted.
Just in case. If this is a bullish bar, and if it's an LO, everything's higher lows at this point. And we still have a measured move up that we're expecting. So I'll take a risk on it. If it is indeed an LO. Don't got much to lose at this point, right? Getting pretty stacked. All right, so that's not gonna
Order canceled.
work anymore. All right, I'll pause here and see if something sets up. All right.
Order
Market's messing
submitted.
with me today, but it's still possible this can be an LO here. And like I said, it's still higher. Oh, it's giving up again. It looked like that was going to be a bullish bar.
Order canceled.
So now I don't foresee a setup happening at this point. So I'll pause here. All right, now this is looking like an
Order
LO
submitted.
with a target to reach. Maybe I can take this. Wow, again, just won't give the bullish. Okay.
Order canceled.
Market is messing with me. It knows I want to take a trade, but I'm sticking to my rules at the same time. Kind of wonder if there could be some sort of like spike in channel sort of thing. Kind of annoyed that I'm drawing channels again. I enjoyed not having to draw anything, but hey, if it helps me get on the right side with my new strategy, I'll do whatever it takes to be successful, I guess. All right, I'm gonna pause here. I don't think there's a setup again. All right, well, it didn't reach the measured move. I drew in another possible range. Could be considered one leg down. So you're either going to get the second leg down or the range is going to hold. Still no setups. So we'll just wait and see what happens here. Market just is looking pretty strong early, but just a sell-off for quite some time now. Slow, grinding sell-off. But no opportunities for me ever since my last trade. All right, I removed the possible range because it's clearly making a second leg down. It wasn't holding in any kind of range there, and nothing was solid about it. Kind of similar to this one a little bit. So I'm just waiting. Mac at this time of the day, he just draws the tight stuff when he gets this late. So you would just draw like this and say break new low. And the same thing here. Break new high. Oops. So I'm just hanging out and still looking at my other chart, looking for setups. But again, now, so if an LO sets up down here, I don't think I would want to take it at this point, since we've already essentially done 2 legs down. I'm starting to pay attention to that. And so I think what I'm hoping this will do is it'll take LOs off the board when they do set up, that I can't consider them anymore in a situation like this. And then that way, maybe I am only taking LOs in situations maybe like this, where There's still a second measured move up here, and if there's a break, you usually can expect 2 legs to a new high. So that's kind of my thought process on how this might be useful in the future. But not seeing any setups right now. So I'll pause until I do. Okay, I'm watching here to see a close below. A close below could be an OJ. As it went directly the other direction. Maybe I should do some kind of measurement. Seems like that's been reached. Just getting ready to wrap up the day. It's 12:17, and definitely had enough of this week. If this closes to the low side down here, I'll have an OJ, which I'll take. So I personally would like to see a push down and give me an entry. Need to be around 27.25 or so. Get a nice push here to the low side. It's trying. It's going to be close. Maybe not. Okay, so definitely don't have it there. Still the same thing though, if there is a push down, that 27.25 area, I believe it will be an OJ. It seems like if it is, it's probably going to happen fast. All right, now we're moving away from it. Tough market this week, really, really difficult. Now it's coming back. I wonder if other strategies have been as difficult for people. It seems like from the different Discord groups I'm in and the YouTubes that I follow, it seems like some people have had a hard time, but other people have seemed to do pretty well. So it's hard to say. I definitely think the volatility from this week, the spike, just sort of changed things for me a little bit. But I think it was a smaller part of the strategy went wrong than some of my mental errors this week. If this closes lower, this might qualify. Trying to be ready. Feels like it'll happen fast. Wow. Just really stuck in a tight range here. It seems like if it doesn't happen on this bar to close to the lower side, then it's not happening. Just going to try again. If this bar closes bearish down here, I'll know on the close whether I can take it for an OJ. Been waiting for it. Wow. Real fight here. Here it comes. I'd like to take this if it qualifies. No, it doesn't qualify. I want to take it, but it's not right.
Order canceled.
It closed where I want it to close, but it's just not giving me the signal that it's qualifies for it. All right. I'll give it 5 more minutes and then that'll be it. All right, I'm watching here actually for a possible PB.
Order submitted.
Side. Maybe this is supposed to be more like this. It's possible. Have it in mind. I'm just waiting to see if we get a close higher. It might fit the rules. No, that doesn't fit.
Order canceled.
One condition not in place. Although it did close high enough, it has one of my rules missing. I think it'll work because we have the measured move here, but I'm not going to take it because it's white. It's subjective. It's missing a rule. And I'm just about to be wrapped up here. So I'm just going to watch how this plays out and then probably call it for the day. I'll be right back. Okay, so this white PB just worked. It did go for the measured move. So, you know, I've seen this a couple days in a row now where I'm saying white PBs that work when you have a measured move, a second leg that you can measure to reach the target. I'm not quite ready to take them yet, but I'm going to keep watching them in these cases since doing these measured moves is still new to me, combining it with my strategy. But having said that, I'm probably going to wrap it up right now. So I'm get myself together for the wrap up video unless I see something set up in the next minute or two. I'll pause again one more time before I turn this off. I just want to see something. Okay, recording real quick here.
Order submitted.
Possible PB. No, it doesn't qualify again.
Order canceled.
Okay, I'm going to really wrap it up. No point in sticking around much past this point. I'll just do something bad. It's probably what I think. All right, so this is going to wrap up the live session for today, finishing the day 1 and 1. And let's see, here's my daily results. 1-1 red day. All of my evals were blown. And I'll do a review coming up right here. Check out my other playlists for my review and wrap up for today and for the week. And be back next week. Thanks for watching.